It sounds like talks continue and that the Matthews camp and Brad Treliving and company and Shane Doan, I believe, went out to AZ last week and met with Matthews, and everybody's being optimistic and positive. But the intriguing part of the story is it sounds like Toronto's trying to go 8 years here.
Yeah, which is not really that surprising, right? You're trying to get him, you're trying to lock him in, give him what he wants, but it's going to be interesting to see what he takes, right? This is a real moment for, I think, the organization and for Auston to see where his commitment lies and what he wants. And does this Shane Doan factor, we know that he grew up watching Shane Doan, that he idolizes him. Now he's with the Leafs. Is this something that's going to help push him over the top to bring him in? And, I think, again, we have to look at what does he want, right? You look at the deals that, guys taking pay cuts. You talk about, Crosby or even McKinnon taking a reasonable number who won a Stanley Cup. You talk about where McDavid is with his number. And so it's going to be interesting to see what he reels in here. And, it's definitely something they have to get done.
I was going to ask you too, as somebody who most recently played in this league, how much do guys care about perception? Like, obviously, you're going to have some guys who are just so egotistical, they don't give a shit what's going on. But do the majority of players actually care what's said about them in the media and stuff like that?
I would assume that Auston has it probably turned off. Playing in this market for as long as he has, I feel like it would be a black hole, biting on everything that comes up or your Twitter. And I think sometimes there's a benefit to that as well, right? You talk about him taking more money or less money. He's obviously making a lot more money off endorsement deals. There's other ways to make big money in such a big market like Toronto. So there's also that factor, which factors in using the social media, using your branding to really generate more revenue that can help you make up money you might lose. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a challenge. And I think for him, it's just going to come down if he really wants to be in Toronto or not.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I just wonder what that number would look like if it's an 8-year contract. I just don't think the likelihood of an 8-year deal coming out of this makes a lot of sense for the Matthews side. And maybe they cave and maybe they meet somewhere in between. But I think the likelihood, if you were to ask me right now, of an 8-year contract extension, I just don't see it. I think they land on 3 to 5 years, which has been the speculation for a couple months now. But I think from a Leafs standpoint, you just want this guy signed. I really don't care how you get the job done. There's just no way you can lose Auston Matthews. And it's great to hear that he loves being a Leaf. He loves playing in this city. So I think it's all positive vibes, which is great to hear considering like a month ago, the sky was falling because Kyle Dubas, his buddy, was gone. But Brad Treliving has cleaned up the mess so far, and we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks.